Hello and welcome to episode 13 of UK NBA. I'm Ryan Hillback.
And I'm Peter Wells.
It's a slightly belated episode 13 of UK NBA because we've both been ill.
Yep, we've both had the man flu.
Touch of the man flu.
Yeah.
And I'm a bit nervous because this is episode 13. Today is Friday.
The 13th.
I'm not liking that really. Something bad might. So basically, if one of us dies whilst we're doing this video, it's because this is episode 13 and it's Friday.
Tip over later.
Yeah.
Most likely.
It's not looking
Those
good, is
8
it?
people in.
Yeah.
Mm.
Okay, let's snap out of that. That dreadful picture.
Course, yeah.
Okay, and let's get on with all things basketball. And we'll start with the news. A piece of news that's a bit old now, but obviously we haven't been here for quite a few weeks. So we'll just say that Jacques Vaughn has been fired as the head coach of Orlando Magic. Quite why, I have no idea.
No, they're doing okay, and unfortunately that's just the way basketball goes. Sometimes one to a different direction, but that's the way it goes. And
James Barrago is the man that's
taking
excuse me. James, see, that's already that's already the end for me. I'm going to develop some lung condition. And James Barrago is the man that has taken over as coach.
And they haven't improved much since, though.
And another firing. I mean, the Sacramento Kings seem to love sacking coaches and managers because the news coming out is that they fired their second coach, and that man is Ty Corbin, who's been fired, and George Karl will take over. If I was George Karl, I wouldn't get too settled. I wouldn't put the pictures up in my office or anything because the Sacramento Kings have got a bit of a reputation for hiring and firing.
Yeah, that's the second coach in the season. Probably the best season I've had in a couple of years as well, which makes it even more strange. But
that's the problem with getting better results, more expectation, perform better, and then if you don't reach the standards that you initially looked like you were gonna set, then you find yourself without a job. And a blow for the LA Clippers now. Well, obviously it's a couple of weeks old, but Blake Griffin will undergo surgery on his right elbow. No exact timetable has been given until after surgery, but he could be out for up to 6 weeks. And do you believe that is a massive blow to the LA Clippers' hopes of winning the NBA championships?
But it will be back for the playoffs, but obviously this will mean a chance at a top 4 seeding in the West is going to be a lot harder now, which could be detrimental at the end of the season when we come to playoffs. So really it could be tough for them. Obviously, then you got to worry about Blake Griffin getting back into the same kind of form he had last season, and he had through some of this season. So it's going to be tough now. But I've had a tough season anyway. So
but I've still got people like DeAndre Jordan just to surefire things up.
Yeah. But it's going to be tough for them anyway.
We're on to trading news now, but we have got an actual feature, haven't we, coming up of all the trades. Because it was manic last night. There's a pile of trades that came in.
All went off last night.
And we've got a feature on that after this. But just a little bit of trading to whet your appetite is that the Timberwolves are trading Melf Williams and Troy Daniels to the Hornets for Gary Neal and a 2019 second round pick. Who's the beneficiary of that piece of business? Who's got the better deal?
I'd say the Hornets have definitely got a good deal there. Timberwolves are probably trying to free up a bit of space for some moves in the off season.
You've got that cap space problem as well. And plus, we've had this conversation many times in UK NBA. It's always hard to have this discussion about who's the beneficiary out of those two until we see what that second round draft pick is.
Yeah,
and it could all sort of turn around. Yep. And you've got some injury news?
Yeah, that's Steven Adams for Oklahoma City Thunder, a bit more injury blow for them. He'll be re-evaluated in 2 weeks' time. I believe that's 2 weeks from about now. After surgery on a fractured right, I think it was on his right hand finger anyway, and that was happened in a game against the Clippers.
It did, yeah, it was the Clippers, yeah.
And he had to go off, and obviously worse than many people expected at first.
Didn't look nice.
Free.
And I remember the camera actually going up on his finger, and I was like, don't need to see that, thank you.
Of course, it might have been dislocated, but it has obviously been assessed as being bad injury to the finger, and that means he'll be out for a couple of weeks.
Which is a blow for them. But what better news for them is all those trades that picked up last night.
We'll
be on to that after this. A man who's probably going to go down as one of the best NBA coaches of all time, would you agree? Has reached a milestone. Greg Popovich he's got his 1,000th win as a head coach, which is quite remarkable, being as his coaching numbers are up there quite high, but they're not as high as one man whose question will come up in question time. But even he didn't win as many games as Popovich in more games. He reached that, but not in the game to win ratio.
Yeah, he's a special coach, and obviously he's coached a special team as well. Obviously, picked up great draft picks, most notably Tim Duncan. And
all the way back in the 90s, wasn't it?
Yeah, and they've just gone on and continued to really improve year after year. And they're still one of the best teams in the league, and still one of many people's favourites to win the NBA title.
Still one of the contenders, yeah.
On some more news, obviously we put that in about Stoudemire, which is a bit outdated
but
now,
that's
we've updated
changed,
that. He was waived by the Knicks.
Yeah.
$23 million contract he was on. And they waived him from that, knowing they weren't going to re-sign him at the end of the season.
And knowing that his age at 32 probably limits him in a lot of things that he could do before.
Exactly.
And $23 million is just a stupid amount of money to pay for him. He has, yesterday, he signed for the Dallas Mavericks.
Yep.
But it's on such a less contract, you were telling me. It's very low.
Veterans minimum, which is £460,000 for the rest of the season. So
$460,000, yeah. So that's going to be about £330,000, which coming down from that $23 million is a significant drop, isn't it?
Yeah, but obviously he's playing for a championship team, so he's playing now for a team that's all in to win a championship this year. And he's got a great chance, especially off the bench, less pressure on him. And certainly looking forward to see what he still has in the tank, really.
Yeah, in his locker. This is my pick for a 2015 MVP in the All-Star game was Carmelo Anthony. It didn't quite go to plan. Russell Westbrook was the man that won that. But speaking of Carmelo Anthony, he's set to go surgery on his left knee, which he'll miss the rest of the season for the Knicks. Hence why his performance probably quite wasn't up to scratch.
No, it's,
in the All-Star game, because he was struggling with that knee problem.
Yeah, it was always going to be tough for him, and it's been tough for the Knicks as well this season. They've had far from a smooth ride, and obviously Carmelo Anthony out for the year now. That's pretty much ended any hopes of New York having a half decent season.
I don't know what you would say would be after. Probably try not to lose any more games.
But then again, they haven't won a game this season without Carmelo Anthony. They're 0-11.
So, shall we make a bold prediction to say that they won't win a game for the rest of the season? I don't think they will. I actually don't think they will. I reckon they'll go for the rest of the season without winning a game. And you heard it right here on UK NBA. You've got some injury news?
Yeah, and that's Drew Holiday as well. Will be re-evaluated in 3 weeks. Re-aggravating a stress reaction in his right leg. Obviously, he was out earlier in the season and missed some time for the Pelicans, and he's back on the injury reserve for the next 3 weeks at least. So that's another blow for the Pelicans.
Yeah, and onto some rather sad news now. It's the news that former NBA champion and Trailblazer legend Jerome Kersey has sadly passed away at the age of 52.
Yeah, a great player. Won a championship with the Spurs. Took the Trailblazers to finals twice, I do believe. Overall, great player, and sadly passed away at 52.
Yeah, and our condolences go to his family and friends.
Yep. And that's it then for the news today, for the NBA news. We've got the next feature coming up, which is all about the trade deadline day massacre in terms of... Yeah,
it was absolutely manic on the NBA trades. We'll all have what happened yesterday. It's right here. Stay tuned for part 2 of UK NBA.